Closing out the night in the USL Championship's Western Conference, we come to you from the desert in Phoenix Rising Stadium as Phoenix Rising plays host to El Paso Locomotive. Tonight's Kick Cancer Night is presented by Phoenix Children's. With Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for being with us. Big game for both of these teams in the Western Conference standings. Right there in 7th and 8th spot. A chance for El Paso to jump all the way up to 5th spot. Phoenix, they're trying to keep pace with El Paso here tonight. Let's take a look at tonight's game changers. They are presented by Hope High School Online, changing the game of education for Phoenix. It's Danny Trejo.
And he was just so good last time out against San Antonio. Arteaga goes out with the red card, so a big challenge for Danny Trejo. The ability to hold off defenders, whether it's drop into the hole, but also spin in behind, and scored a fantastic goal last time out, so you know he's going to be confident. But the big challenge for Danny Trejo is what does the service look like into him for Juan Guerra and the Phoenix Rising here today.
On the other side for El Paso, tonight's game changer presented by Hope High School Online, changing the game of education, Dennis Kostishin.
The ability to beat players 1v1, the ability to combine with players. You see 4 goals, 3 assists. He's going to play on the left-hand side, and he's going to provide the wide areas, but also going to join Lucha Solignac. So how quickly can he get in a rhythm? Because he can be an X factor going forward for El Paso, and he needs to be massive for Brian Carhart here today.
Well, of course, both these teams, they've had their ups, but right now it's a bit of a dip. Just 1 win in the last 5 for Phoenix. For El Paso, we'll get into more of this, but they've struggled.
I think you have to look at Phoenix Rising because the way that they're playing is not a reflective of the goals or lack thereof, I should say, for Juan Guerra. And he knows it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when we start getting points and climbing up the table. But for El Paso, we're so good, we're so low. You're just looking for consistency, and it'll start here tonight. What an opportunity it is on the road.
They've lost 3 straight winless in their last 8. Something has to give for both of these sides tonight. We'll see what we get between El Paso and Phoenix Rising. We'll have lineups in First Kick from the Desert coming up next.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Why is Aaron happy? Well, just days ago, his old wheels gave out. But he knew Carvana had his back. That's because Carvana had thousands of cars under $20,000. And with the new co-signer option, Aaron's folks were able to help him out with a new ride.
No way.
Yes way. With thousands of cars under $20,000 and our co-signer option, we'll drive you happy at Carvana.
Sanderson Ford gives back. They support local sports.
They support local businesses, restaurants, and music.
Y organizaciones en nuestra comunidad latina.
My favorite event is Operation Santa Claus.
And mine is the Cave Creek Rodeo.
I love participating in the Guardian Games with my son Evan for Special Olympics Arizona.
Your business has allowed Sanderson Charities to give back to all these local charities. We've been paying it forward for 68 years. Thank you.
Join Arizona's only professional soccer club as it goes head-to-head with Sacramento Republic at the team's new home. Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for ticket information.
Tonight's broadcast of Phoenix Rising FC is presented by Equality Health, Carvana will drive you happy, and by NAU Nationwide. Building up to First Kick tonight, the 2023 Phoenix Rising season is brought to you by Equality Health. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. We will start with Juan Guerra's Phoenix Rising side, of course, missing their star number 9 in Manuel Arteaga tonight.
And you have to look at that front line, Armenakis, Trejo, and Varela. What does Varela look like in terms of the relationship? He's going to pop underneath Armenakis, play like a double 10 underneath Danny Trejo. You have Jose Hernandez and Zambrano. How quickly can they get in a rhythm and dictate tempo for Juan Guerra? When Joma and King need to have the balance to join the attack as they see fit, and that back three needs to stay compact and keep everything in front of them, especially at home.
On the other side, Brian Clairhout, a red card last week, so it's John Burklow as the acting head coach tonight.
Back at Miami, I thought Liam Rose, when he came into the game, everything completely changed for El Paso. So him and Calvillo need to get on the ball and really dictate tempo and pull the strings. Solonyak, he's going to stay high. He's going to occupy the two center backs of Phoenix Rising, Lion Zacharias and Kashisin. What does that relationship look like, and how quickly can they get on the ball and make their impact felt? Because the first 10 to 15 minutes is going to be really important for the visitors.
There is a look at John Burklow. He is in his first season as an assistant head coach with El Paso Locomotive. Last 4 years has been with Rise SC in Houston as an MLS Next Academy director, but he gets the reins here tonight. And Brian Clairhout saying this week, John will go in and know what he needs to do. He's been a big part of this process. We'll have a plan with the staff and how we want to approach this game. We'll be as prepared as we can heading into this game. There is the whistle, and away we go. It is El Paso Locomotive and Phoenix Rising tonight. Glad you can be joining us wherever you are tuning in from. Of course, both of these teams going through a bit of a rough patch. We mentioned El Paso. They've lost their last 3 games. They are winless over their last 8. They have conceded 3+ goals in each of their last 3. Well, of course, Phoenix Rising, they came off quite the game last week against San Antonio. 2 late goals scored by San Antonio, and they were not able to get the result as they went down to 10 men. They were down to 10 men for close to 80 minutes in that game, and not able to get anything out of it. But tonight, new opportunity against a team that is scuffling.
It was interesting because we had the chance to speak to Wangere, and I mentioned what you think about after the red card. He was very quick to say, look, we played probably better. As Arteaga got an early shower, the team came together. They were more compact, they were more decisive and confident on the ball. So how do you get that and translate it from minute 1 to minute 90 with 11 players on the field? And we talked about the dip of form for El Paso. Very difficult in terms of just getting consistency in bases and performances, players on the field. So again, it's a big opportunity just to create a little bit of room between them and the players and the teams underneath them in the playoff table.
Just based on some other results tonight, of course, the 2-2 draw between RGV and Louisville, and then San Antonio beating New Mexico by 3-0. A win tonight for Phoenix, and there could really be some space in between them and New Mexico below. They'd go up to 32 points with 3 points tonight, Phoenix. And that would be a 4-point gap between them and New Mexico, even though Mexico has a game in hand. Still a few other games going on around the league, including one out east after the weather delay, Pittsburgh and Hartford. Keep you updated on all the action around the league. It's been an interesting season so far for El Paso. They lose their first 3 games of the season, and then they go on that huge 12-game unbeaten run, 9 wins and 3 draws. But it ended on July 1st in the loss against New Mexico. And they have really struggled since. We mentioned winless over their last 8. They've only scored multiple goals once over those 8 games. That was in the loss against RGV. That was a 5-2 loss in a Copa Tejas matchup. One back in the middle and looking for the long ball over the top. Headed away, looking for Nick Hines. Out for a Phoenix throw. There's a look at Juan Guerra, head coach, of course, for Phoenix Rising. He said he spoke to his guys last week, said we got to stay calm. He said we lost 3 points, but we gained a lot. And he said just ready for it to be Saturday. When we talked to him on Thursday, they were ready to get right back at it after that tough defeat. Hernandez, maybe some contact there, but no whistle. And Darnell King, I think he thought it deflected off his hand. Now the referee will blow this dead. And a free kick to El Paso.
Very interesting matchup just tactically from both of these sides. Very similar in the way that they want to play and the spaces that they pick up. We'll take a look at it. If you're Lions, you have to be very aware where the players are underneath you. Clearly handball from Darnell King. Again, who's going to impose their identity on the opposition? That's going to be key, and I think this game is going to be won or lost essentially. Who's going to win that midfield battle and who's going to play in their terms.
We look at average possession in the USL Championship. Phoenix third at 55%. El Paso in fifth at 53%. Really, since El Paso was created a couple years ago now, they have loved to be on the ball. As this is slipped ahead, Kostishin runs right into John Stenberg. That's not really going to work out for Kostishin there. Stenberg has been a big part of these last couple of games now for Phoenix. As we take a look at tonight's availability report, it is brought to you by Spooner, Al Dunn, Gallardo, Crutzen all out. Of course, Arteaga out as well due to the red card suspension. Kevin Lambert not available for selection as well tonight. Looking for that long ball forward. How about Benny Diaz coming well off his line? That's another interesting thing about tonight. Two goalkeepers that are not afraid to play with their feet, come off their line. We saw how that hurt Phoenix last week.
I also think if you're Phoenix Rising, taking a look at El Paso's last game, the inability to deal with just balls being direct into behind your back line really caused them a lot of problems. So the runs of Danny Trejo need to be spot on, just testing and asking questions of Yuma and McHugh, the two center backs of El Paso.
I guess last week was a bit of a trial for Danny Trejo as the true out-and-out number 9. Not quite the same player as Manuel Arteaga, who I think everybody knows when he's on the field. Physical striker for Phoenix. Navarro looking to lift this in behind. Flicked header by Lucho is out of play.
Been really impressed 7 minutes in with the movement of Solignac. Saw him moments ago just having the ability to hold up the ball and let players around him develop and get beyond him. Very comfortable. He's going to ask a lot of questions, test the shape of these back three for Phoenix Rising. 9 goals and 1 assist on the year. He's a player that you need to get going for El Paso here.
Before last year, El Paso had not beaten Phoenix Rising. It was a 1-0 win for El Paso last June here in Phoenix, and then on the road on August 27th of last year, a 3-1 win for El Paso. At the top of my head, I think that was Juan Guerra's first game in charge away at El Paso. Here's Harvey. He's been utilized in a lot of different positions so far this year. Looks like a part of that back line here tonight as Stenberg comes forward. Looks for Trejo. He's able to keep it and find Hernandez. Pass for Carlos Harvey. Made the assist on the goal last week to Danny Trejo. Harvey can't get a touch onto it. It's all the way into the corner now. Darnell King will trying to keep this in play, and it comes for Armanakis. Over the top, Zambrano couldn't connect with King. Runs through for Diaz. Phoenix Children's is expanding across the valley so we can all grow healthier together. Learn more at phoenixchildrens.org. Enzo Zambrano.
just see how compact El Paso is. 11 players in their own defensive, making life very difficult for Phoenix Rising. So two things need to happen. The ball needs to move extremely quick between lines, be decisive. And the front line needs to have the ability just to pull apart, pull players out of positions to open up gaps for your teammates. All comes off the hands of Armanakis and Varela playing underneath Danny Trejo. There's one thing about Jose Hernandez and Zambrano, have the ability just to break lines with their passing, so how quickly can they get their head up? Plays ball that dissect this back line of El Paso.
Looking for the long switch of play. It's Nick Hines. Turned over, Armanakis. Up by Zambrano. Stenberg, he came on at halftime last week. Had a big part of that second half defensive effort. Just couldn't hold out until the end. Gets his first start in a Phoenix Rising shirt here tonight. On the other side for El Paso, they lose a center back this week. Bence Pavkovic sold to Vasas of Hungary. Going back to his home country, but he played a big part for El Paso so far this season as Harvey goes down. Here's Darnell King. Back for Trejo. Danny Trejo! Just over the bar. Not a bad effort from that distance.
It's a recovery run here from Darnell King to peel himself back and have the vision of where Danny Trejo is, and it takes a deflection for sure off of McHugh. Danny Trejo, right foot, left foot. Should be a corner kick for Phoenix Rising. Just see the argument needs to be had for Danny Trejo barking at the referee because clear as day takes a deflection.
Here's Harvey, ahead for Trejo. It was Yuma who went to ground and disrupted his progress. Kostishin. Here's McHugh. Kostishin. Paso looking to start something. Both these teams very comfortable of, if it's not on, let's just pass it back, keep possession. Might be how this game goes.
Just very similar the way that both of these teams have set up defensively. Lose possession, how quickly can you stay into a mid to low block? Danny Trejo at the bottom of his circle in its offensive half. Clog passing lanes make the opposition go around you, never through you.
Everybody back behind the ball here for Phoenix, and they do win it back with Armanakis. There's Fuenmayor. Couple of new haircuts in the squad. Fuenmayor and Harvey.
You a fan of them?
I don't know, it took me a little bit to get used to the buzz cut for Alejandro Fuenmayor. This is turned over, Zacharias, but Fuenmayor steps in. Varela taking off the ball, making just his second start since the end of June. Started the game against Sacramento a couple of weeks back, that big 4-0 defeat. It's taken him some time to kind of settle in here in Phoenix, just 2 goals this year. plenty of attacking options for this Phoenix side, and bringing in Armanakis, bringing in Formella as well, who starts on the bench today. Wangera said he had a decision to make with how he wanted to set things up, whether it be Formella. He asked about him a few weeks ago. He said, well, he's experienced in this league, but he can play striker, he can play winger. He's a dual 10. Here's McHugh.
And I thought we for sure were going to see him in the 11 and paired up with Danny Trejo, a player that also is very familiar with how Wangera likes to go about things, playing underneath him at the Oaken roots.
As we've seen this year, not an easy team to necessarily break into. A couple of weeks ago when they had everybody healthy, he said there's going to be 2 players that are going to be unhappy because they won't be in the squad. They need a deep team, and unfortunately, Phoenix has been hit by the injury bug this year, and a couple players again out tonight.
Just see everyone for El Paso is just dropping deep. Just wants the ball to feet. You need someone to run in behind, to pull out a center back, to open up a gap between lines. You know better than me, Josh, if you're a center back anywhere in the world, it's an easy day at the office just to step into that middle third, move from left to right. Any nightmares just facing your own goal. You look on the top line for either side, just someone to run in behind beyond the 2 center backs and stretch the game open a tiny bit, just like this.
Looking for that long ball over the top. It's a long run there for Lions. This one stays in play. Kostishin still coming in. Kostishin, big deflection. Harem's out of play, and it looks like it's the game's first corner kick. It comes for El Paso. And a souvenir.
You play direct and you try to win the second balls higher up the field. Kostishin wears number 10 for a reason, can create something out of nothing. Just hits it so clean on target, but Fuenmayor very bravely just puts it out for a corner kick.
Kostishin to deliver. The in-swinger, it's pretty close there to Rios Novo. Stenberg was up for it. Wangera pointed out he's going to win a lot of those aerial duels, standing 6'4". Here's Rose. And McHugh. Calvillo for Lucho. Kostishin wins it back. And it's turned over. Darnell King. And now Panos Armanakis. Needs to slip it in field there for Hernandez, and Hines had it read.
Just a wrong decision from Armanakis. You have to play that ball into the path of Darnell King. You see on the back end of it, he's pointing, makes a run, he beats both defenders. It's a low percentage ball essentially, and that gives the ability for Paso just to double down in their recovery runs. To take care of the ball, make the ball sweat, make the opposition move from left to right and open up gaps. Be a bit more decisive when you're on the ball if you're Phoenix Rising.
Navarro. Lions, he won't get there as he goes to ground. This This portion of the match is brought to you by Modelo, a reward for those with a fighting spirit. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Novo trying to go long. It's intercepted, but quickly won back. And now Zambrano leads the break. Looking to slip it in behind for Darnell King. And going to ground expertly was Nick Hines to put it out for a throw-in.
When you lose possession of the ball, you need to be extremely quick to be compact. Zambrano does very well, just picks a pocket of Zacharias, and just it's a good insertion ball. Darnell King, but give credit to Nick Hines, like for like with the speedy wingback, wins that individual battle. It's very interesting because yes, you want to be expansive, yes, you want to overload on the top line of El Paso, but if you have a sloppy turnover, you leave yourself extremely vulnerable going back the other way just like that.
Again, here's King and Armanakis. Harvey. Gonna roll this into the path of Trejo. The square ball to the back post. Oh, that is silky smooth from Phoenix Rising. Eddie Manjoma scores, and Phoenix is on the board first.
Just genius from Wangera. You drop back Harvey, and he gives you the ability to break lines with his passing range, his vision, and his technique. Him and Danny Trejo have a very good relationship at understanding the right ball at the right time. As Darnell King stays wide, he pulls out Nick Hines, and that opens up the secondary run for Danny Trejo off the shoulder of McHugh. Unselfish. From Danny Trejo, picks up his head, lets Manjoma come across the back post, and never gonna miss that. The quality that he has, but what a well-worked goal this is from Phoenix Rising. 23rd minute, they get their opening goal.
This goal brought to you by Gateway Community College. Bit of a similar goal to what we saw last week, that slip ball in behind to beat the center backs. It's worked now 2 weeks running for Phoenix Rising. And just like they did last week, they were able to score the opening goal. And now we'll see if they can hold on for the full 3 points here tonight.
It all comes down to the timing. Watch out here.
Turned over. Yuma had to go to ground to end that threat. Manjoma, his second goal of the year. Remember his first against Memphis. Absolute screamer. That was more of the tap-in variety, but some hard running coming off that left side and arriving at the perfect moment.
It's all about the timing between Carlos Harvey and Danny Trejo to understand where the space is, where he wants the ball, the right weight behind the ball in from Carlos Harvey. Just like you said, Josh, last time against San Antonio, the understanding to spin in behind. This time, it's using the run of Darnell King to open up the gap between the left back and the left center back. And then so unselfish from Danny Trejo, because so many times you get a number 9 in that position. They're going for goal. They're going for glory. To pick up his head, to have the composure, to just lay it into the path. And Manjoma, who does well to beat his individual mark, top to bottom. Wangera has to be extremely pleased with the goal second week running.
And for Trejo, his 4th assist of the season. No Phoenix Rising player has more. Over the last 3 games, 2 goals and an assist for Danny Trejo. That's making an impact on things each and every time you take to the field. He has no doubt made an impact, and he has, I guess, gotten his name into the Golden Boot race as well, up to 10 goals this year himself. Now just 1 behind Manuel Arteaga, and they have the same amount of assists at 4. Here's Zacharias. That deflect off Fuenmayor. It did. It's a corner kick here for Locomotive.
You're Stenberg. You have to be very careful. You can choose your right times when to jump at a possession centrally, because that leaves a gap going back the other way. Zacharias comes across. And there is an extension on the backside. I've seen a lot. Where's call for fouls there? I think Zacharias gets away with one, but definitely hits off the knee of Fuenmayor.
Played short to Zacharias. Constitution. It's just too hot to handle there for Lucho as it runs out of play. There's John Burklow, acting head coach.
Just too much pace on the ball into the interior from Constitution. Just ripes this ball. Olniak doesn't have the ability to get his shoulders around.
John Burklow saying this week about stepping into this job with Brian Clairhout suspended due to red card. Said we are aligned on how we see the game. He says my experience as a coach serves me well. My ability to teach and understand, apply game models. So the goal for this game, we want to win. We want to bring this team back into the middle of the pack in that playoff picture. Coming off just a really tough defeat last time out against Miami. Play this over the top. It's too close, though, to Benny Diaz. Diaz, you might remember that name last year, made 13 appearances with the Oakland Roots before going back to Cholos. Again, coming in off loan here to El Paso. Scoreline that pertains to playoff picture, 1-0 to Memphis at San Diego tonight. San Diego's kind of a hard team to get a grasp on this year. When they're up, they're up. When they're down, it's been a tough time for Loyal.
You could say the same thing for El Paso as well.
Cross lifted in, Rios Novo able to hold on to it.
The game plan, their identity is there for sure for El Paso. Just the execution has been lacking as of late, especially when you get into that final third. Not having the ability just to get on the end of things, whether it's testing opposing goalkeepers, combination play, strikes from distance on the back end of it, just leaking so many goals. And too easy, not tidy enough in the back for Brian Clairhout, and now on Burklow.
Long over the top, again too close to Diaz. Pre-game with Raising Cane's, proud supporter of Phoenix Rising. Skip the line and order on an easy mobile app for your order of premium fresh hand-breaded chicken fingers, special sauce, and don't forget to add our fresh hand-squeezed lemonade. Order.raisingcanes.com. All the way into the corner, this will run out of play. Here's Armanakis. Hernandez. Quick passing here from Phoenix. Armanakis. It's Varela. Back for Armanakis. Space for Harvey. Lifted cross to the back post. It's taken by Diaz. There's quick distribution. Kostishin brings him in field. He was tripped up. Might this be game's first yellow card? And it is. Enzo Zambrano into the book. First time Alexis De Silva, our referee, has gone to his pocket tonight.
But give credit to Diaz. You understand the moment to go quick and try to catch out this Phoenix Rising on the back end of it. Kostishin does so well to put his body between him and the ball. Zambrano need to be a bit more smarter than that. Kostishin feels any sort of contact is going to go down. And now 30 minutes in, Renzo Zambrano on a yellow card. That's not what you want if you're Juan Garrett. Big challenge defensively in his positioning.
That is his 9th yellow card of the season. He's already been suspended for 1 game earlier this year against Monterey Bay for the yellow card suspension with 8. That's the first threshold. And now it's Navarro who stands over this. 28-year-old Spaniard. Plenty of eyes for goal here. Navarro, the curler. It's taken by Rios Novo. Not a bad effort from that distance.
Not a long run up as well. Generates a lot of power the way that he just swoops at it with the dipping motion. You need to hit something extremely incredible to beat Rios Novo from that distance.
Navarro, a couple of appearances in the Premier League with Watford. Time as well at Espanyol in Spain. A foul. To go long over the top, one of Darnell King. Diaz tries to use his head there, and the foul from Armanakis.
I think something off the scouting report here for Juan Garrett. Just try to watch out. It's a bad give over.
Here's Zacharias. Into the top of the area. Kostishin back for Zacharias. Trying to switch the point of attack there. It's headed away. Navarro will track it down for El Paso. Lifts this cross in. Harvey had to head that out of play. It was off of him. It's a corner kick for El Paso.
Going to be a big challenge for the back three for Phoenix Rising. Yes, you're on the ball a bit more. Yes, you're playing the game on your terms. You can't let yourself get complacent, lose focus, and do the simple things. That turnover there from Carlos Harvey, almost get tagged on the back end of it, but now a very dangerous set piece.
Kostishin, driven ball in. Player went down for Phoenix. That was Darnell King. Now here's Armanakis. Armanakis traversing the entire field.
Just too many touches in the first half here from Panos Armanakis. Too many times things are breaking down, trying to overcomplicate things. You heard the moans from the fans just begging for him to get the ball off of his foot, to have willing runners on the back end of it. selects not to play it.
Calvillo. Here's Rose and McHugh. When wellness for mind and body is the goal, Day One sparkling water and CBD is always a win-win with 20 milligrams of CBD, real fruit juice, zero sugar, and refreshing effervescence. Score yours at the concession stand today. Your better tomorrow starts today with Day One. Decision here from the referee. Darnell King, captain, talking with Alexis De Silva. Looks like nothing there from the referee. Just foul and play on. Long over the top. Nothing doing there for Rising. Calvillo. Lions. Navarro. Back out wide for Lions. Driven ball in. It's Stenberg again. He's able to get something on this. I guess last week may have been a good trial run for Phoenix, sitting deep in that low block, because that's what they had to do last week in San Antonio. This week they're having to do something very similar against El Paso.
Because there's no real estate centrally in the attacking phase for El Paso, so they're electing to go around, pumping balls into dangerous areas, but so good. So far, so good for the back three for Phoenix Rising. Stenberg, Mayor, and Carlos Harvey positionally has been spot on.
Stishin, the in-swinger, Harvey up for it. Varela, that was a high boot, and another one, that was a handball. Phoenix wants to go quick. Rose won't let it happen. Possession in this game well in favor of El Paso. 64% of the ball thus far. I guess you can have all of that possession if you can't break down this Phoenix Rising side, and you're going back home with no points. Stenberg, second time we've seen him venture forward.
Exactly what I was going to say for about El Paso. Yes, you have all the possession, but what do you do with that possession? How purposefully can you be when you get on the ball and force Rios Novo to make saves, because you haven't put him under pressure a whole lot. 40 minutes in, everything has been in front of his back three. In the middle of the field, no players pulling center backs out of position, not having the ability just to create on your own.
Calvillo for Costician. Cross whipped in, Lucho's up for it, but Fuenmayor was there just in time. Boy, it's probably 1-1 if Lucho's on the end of that.
We talked about Navarro having the ability just to whip a ball in and put it in a dangerous area, picks up his head and sees the run of Solignac, plays off the shoulder between Fuenmayor and Carlos Harvey, and that's last-ditch defending effort for the big center back.
Costician, the outswinger to the near post. Rose able to keep it alive. Costician infield. Zacharias looking for that near post and drag the shot wide.
Should be hitting the target from there with the quality that Zacharias has. Picks up his head, no one closes down the space. Elects to try to catch Rios Novo cheating and go near post, but just pulls it a bit too wide. Just talking about the movement from Lucho Solignac. The reason why he's had so much success in USL Championship, scoring goals for fun at a very high rate. The ability just to get lost in the box, play off the shoulder of opposing center backs, just play off the blind side. It's a big challenge for the back line of Phoenix Rising, just in terms of their communication, to always pass him along and know where he is at all times.
Fancy play there by Diaz, and McHugh helps him out there by keeping it moving. Will be a throw into Phoenix here.
Going back to an earlier point that I was talking about, it was just a scouting report for Wangera. Has to be an attack on this right-hand side. Really test Nick Hines. Try to get him out of position, because you start to see Darnell King having so much time in the attacking third, playing almost like another winger or striker, so to say. And you have Panos Armanakis coming to the interior now. It puts a lot of pressure on Hines in terms of his decision making. Does he stay compact with his back line, or does he go out and face Darnell King?
And to your point, we'll get to this in a sec. El Paso coming forward, Stenberg stepping in. A nutmeg there to try to keep it alive. Varela just deflects out of play. It'll be a goal kick. To your point, 53% of the attack has come down that right side for Phoenix Rising. So they're really keying in on Nick Hines and trying to go after him. Looks like a yellow card has been shown here as well. It goes to Panos Armanakis.
Late challenge on Calvillo. The ball's gone, knows exactly what he's doing. A bit frustrating. He loses possession.
Good refereeing though. Play the advantage, come back and book the offender.
But I do think if you're El Paso, just changing the point of attack, especially off the heels of forcing a turnover, the way you can hurt this Phoenix Rising side. Quick, decisive, get your weak-sided player involved.
Here's Trejo. Varela for Danny Trejo, around the goalkeeper. Trejo scores! He is on fire! An assist, and now a goal, and Phoenix leads 2-0.
We just mentioned it, Josh. You play on this right-hand side, you put Nick Hines under a lot of pressure, and you ask questions of this back line of El Paso. Just take a look at how discombobulated they are. That's McHugh, that's Yuma stepping, but take a look at Danny Trejo. How decisive he is. He understands the back line is just caught ball watching. If I just get in between McHugh and Nick Hines once again, Benny Diaz is quick off his line. Plays himself to a disadvantage Danny Trejo goes, I'll go around you instead. The composure, the quality, decisiveness in the final third for Danny Trejo has been spot on, and he's been a difference for Phoenix Rising as of late.
This goal brought to you by Gateway Community College. Danny Trejo now tied for the team lead. 11 goals he has scored in 6 of the last 7 games for Phoenix. The only game he didn't score, of course, was the game they got shut out against Sacramento. But he has been a man on a mission lately for Phoenix. It's a little bit something different at that out-and-out number 9 position. Now looking for responses, El Paso. The referee says that goes out of play. It's a corner kick coming.
Now you're just looking for a reaction for the visitors. The Lions has come alive as of late. It's just a tiny bit. The ball's fully over the line. Rios Nova tries to be clever and pull it back as he's falling down. But set pieces are a brilliant way. When you're not getting a lot of chances through the run of play, just a claw one back here for El Paso.
And 2 minutes of stoppage time. This is played short for Zacharias. Kostitian gets the return. This is deflected towards goal. And Rios Novo is there to snatch it away. Kind of an awkward deflection there through the middle, but it worked out for Navarro.
It's such a better ball in this time for Kostitian because it's bending towards the goal. If you're Zambrano, you move out of the way. Number 26 there. You need to rise up and challenge for this ball. Unfortunate for him, Navarro comes around the corner, doesn't see it, just takes off his knee. Easy save for Rios Novo in the bend, but Wangari, you're going to be a bit frustrated with just the inability just to challenge for that ball between Zambrano. What a touch.
Lucho, perfect weight on that to put it right over Stenberg's head, but too close to Rios Novo.
You just take a look at the back line for Phoenix Rising, how they shift a little bit, and they push Carlos Harvey a bit higher now when Mayor's coming to this near side, and that's going to put Darnell King on the front line. They just create overloads on the left-hand side for El Paso, and that's been the story for Phoenix Rising, just pumping balls, winning second balls higher up the field, and just testing the shape of El Paso. The difference maker has been Danny Trejo. Goal and assist, his movement, how decisive, and how clean can he be in the final third? And the answer has been fantastic. Phoenix Rising as they go into the break 2-0 up for El Paso. This next 45 minutes is going to be very interesting. If you can get a goal early since coming out of the break, it can be completely different next 45 minutes.
Just 3 shots in this game for Phoenix Rising. They've scored on 2 of them, and that is why they are up 2-0 at the half. It's been a good one for Juan Guerra's men. Can they hold on in the second half? Halftime here from Phoenix. Phoenix Rising 2, El Paso 0.
Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? How fast do you want to get there? At Gateway Community College, you can achieve a career that takes you places in less time and for less money. Opportunity is not just for the select few. Living better is for everyone. Let us help you discover your future.
Hey, Rising fans, spring is in the air and Circle K has what you thirst for. Stay cool with our famous Polar Pop Cups that stay cold longer. Fill your cup with your favorite flavor or mix it up to create your own. Or try our freshly ground iced coffee starting at just $1.89. While you're here, mix and match any 2 roller grill items, just 2 for $4. Check out these hot deals and cool down at Circle K, America's thirst stop and proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising.
Sanderson Ford gives back. They support local sports.
They support local businesses, restaurants, and music.
Y organizaciones en nuestra comunidad latina.
My favorite event is Operation Santa Claus.
And mine is the Cave Creek Rodeo.
I love participating in the Guardian Games with my son Evan for Special Olympics Arizona.
Your business has allowed Sanderson Charities to give back to all these local charities. We've been paying it forward for 68 years. Thank you.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Halftime here from Phoenix. Time to go grab a snack, a drink, whatever you need to get you through the halftime period until the second half. 2-0 to Phoenix Rising as we see what is coming up for Phoenix next week. Well, next 2 weeks, they're away from home, RGV and Las Vegas. Those are two important games. Got to pick up points.
Especially RGV goes into Lynn Family Stadium and takes out a 2-2 draw against Danny Cruz and company. But Las Vegas, 2 wins on the year. If you're Vaughn Garrett, you're looking at that one as a secure 3 points. And then it's just the big one, Sacramento Republic. That one's going to be very interesting because Mark Briggs and the boys can do no wrong. And then you go to FC Tulsa. You know how difficult it is to play on a baseball field.
It is $1 beer night for Sacramento as well. You know how fun those are. As for El Paso, they've got to get things going back on the right track, and it's not going to get it much easier next week.
And 3 out of the next 5 on the road. You go across country to Hartford, at Orange County, at Las Vegas. In the 11, that's going to be an interesting one in Frank Gallup as well. So again, teams that need points and need points quickly as the playoffs are around the corner. If you're Brian Clairhart, John Burklow in El Paso, how do you right this ship that's been going extremely wrong? Winless in your last 8, and this portion of the schedule, it's extremely important for your success.
It is halftime here from Phoenix. We'll see what we get in the second half. 2-0 to Phoenix.
How you doing?
How's it going? Good to see you.
I see you watching SpongeBob. You like that show?
I have a question.
What's up?
Oh, perfect.
Do you guys know Cristiano Ronaldo?
We know who he is, but we don't know him personally.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite soccer player?
Perfect.
Okay.
Not a bad shot.
Get in there. Oh yeah. Ready? There you go.
It made my day so much. I'm so happy. I got to play pool with them. Got to meet them. I got this signed scarf. Of course. The glasses. The scarf that got signed is like the best thing ever. And I'm like pretty much happy for everything. It really made my day. Because at first whenever I heard it, I was like, okay, you know, I'm just thinking we would talk to them. And we would play pool and then, you know.
I thought they were going to be in a robot.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. And then I'm like, oh my God, they're coming to me. And then I get a signed scarf and I'm like, let's just have a better day. Why not?
Halftime here from Phoenix Rising Stadium at 38th Street and Washington. Phoenix Rising and El Paso Locomotive will have more halftime and the second half coming up next.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Sue here gives it a go, and Sue here from distance! How about this start for San Antonio FC? 5 minutes in, they're up 2 goals.
RGV, Davila trying to sneak one in and does! Oh my goodness, RGV, a fantastic goal!
Rising is home. Join Arizona's only professional soccer club as it goes head-to-head with Sacramento Republic at the team's new home, right here in Central Phoenix off 38th Street in Washington. Wednesday, August 30th at 8. Tickets to the match start at $25, and the two-time Western Conference champions are just 5 stops on the Valley Metro to Phoenix and Tempe. Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for more information.
Halftime here from the desert, 2-0 to Phoenix Rising over El Paso Locomotive. Getting into the latter half of the season here in the USL Championship, and busy times. Ricky, what were you doing when you were 13 years old?
I'll tell you what I wasn't doing. I wasn't signing a professional contract and being the youngest athlete in the history of American team sports, but hats off to Sacramento Republic, Mark Brady. It's exactly what they're doing, just dipping into the youth and giving players the opportunity to make their name. And that's just a fantastic thing to be had for Sacramento Republic to go down to USL and ESPN2. RGV, San Antonio, that one's going to be massive.
A note on North Carolina, they're coming back. Their top spot in USL League One. Here in the USL Championship, we see Phoenix and El Paso now flip-flop spots. These are live standings. And right now, it is still, well, actually, Memphis has taken down San Diego, so a loss for San Diego Loyal at home tonight.
Every point matters, especially when you're about 10, 11 games from playoffs. And these are the games that you need to pick up points. So this next 45 minutes for El Paso, for Phoenix Rising, are going to be massive just to create that little bit of separation, because you see just how tight the schedule is.
The scores, I know you were on the Miami game, not shown here, but some intriguing results so far tonight.
Loudon going into Las Vegas, they're up 1-0. Memphis, like you just mentioned, Josh, 1-0 against San Diego, but Tampa Bay Rowdies on a roll, taking down Frankie Alpin. They need points, and they need points quickly. Birmingham hosting Sacramento 1-1, but RGV going into Lynn Family Stadium and grind out a draw. That's something, if you're Wilmer Cabrera, never an easy out for RGV.
And for Tampa Bay, I believe they scored 4 unanswered goals in that game. Here in Phoenix, though, we'll have the second half coming up next.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? How fast do you want to get there? At Gateway Community College, you can achieve a career that takes you places in less time and for less money. Opportunity is not just for the select few. Living better is for everyone. Let us help you discover your future.
Join Arizona's only professional soccer club as it goes head-to-head with Sacramento Republic at the team's new home. Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for ticket information.
Tonight's broadcast of Phoenix Rising FC is presented by Equality Health, Carvana will drive you happy, and by NAU Nationwide. First half highlights, Phoenix Rising, El Paso Locomotive. We start things off in the 11th minute, and some good early opportunities for Phoenix.
Especially on this right-hand side, Darnell King was so active, picking and choosing when he joins the attack and creating overloads. Danny Trejo, we're going to see more of him later in the first half, but their relationship, as Darnell King stays high, Danny Trejo comes underneath. Doesn't get called for a corner kick, but Danny Trejo has been so active and so good just in his movement.
And how about this goal? Back to front and quick passing and really precision passing as well.
And we just talked about the movement, the understanding. Darnell King makes that first run. That pulls out Nick Hines, and Danny Trejo just gets off the corner, off the shoulder of McHugh, and then the unselfishness and the patience to let Manjoma beat his individual marker, and what an easy finish for a player of that quality.
40th minute, El Paso trying to get something going. It was a tough go of it for them.
Navarro's probably been the most active player on the offensive half for El Paso besides Lucho Solignac, because the movement off of the shoulder of Fuenmayor. And if he does not make that play on the ball, it's 1-1 in this moment in time. But again, it's Danny Trejo. You play long, you test Nick Hines, you test this left side of El Paso. He continues his run, and notice how everyone in a blue jersey is focused on the ball. No one tracks Danny Trejo. It's a great little inserted ball from Varela around the corner. Thank you very much. Off to the corner to celebrate. Danny Trejo gets his brace.
Goal and an assist, and then late on in this first half, El Paso again trying to make something happen, but Rios Novo there to keep it.
Just too many players on their heels, too many players ball watching, whether it's Stenberg, whether it's Zambrano. The only player that makes a play on this ball is Navarro. Doesn't get enough contact. It's an easy save in the end from Rios Novo.
As we look at the halftime stats, Phoenix very efficient in that first half.
And you look at the possession for El Paso as well, 61%, but everything has been right in front of the back line. There hasn't been anyone just getting in behind, getting in between lines, really testing and putting Rios Novo under a lot of pressure. And that's going to be a big challenge for John Burklow, because you want to be more effective in the attacking third. You make a change, you're going to dip into your bench, and who's going to provide that spark and that quality in that final third?
As we welcome you back for the second half, we remind you that $1 beer night with Modelo returns to 38th Street and Washington on Wednesday, August 30th as Phoenix hosts Sacramento Republic at 7:30. Hop on the Valley Metro, where your match ticket is your light rail fare. Enjoy $1 beer night responsibly. Secure your match tickets at phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606. Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Looked like there was one sub for El Paso. Penar Petrovic will be coming on. The Swede had battled some injuries in the middle portion of the season, but he comes on. 4 goals and an assist for Petrovic. It is Nick Hines who has come out, and I know we were talking about that right side of the Phoenix attack. That was going up against the left back Hines, so bit of a tweak here from the acting head coach tonight, John Burklow, for El Paso as we get this second half underway.
Very tough day at the office for Nick Hines, just chasing shadows, so many players and around him, making him make decisions. So now it's going to be interesting for, watch out.
It's turned over. Lucho, but Fuenmayor stepped in. Navarro, Costichin, more of a hopeful ball. It's taken by Rios Novo. Well, last week was the end of a pretty incredible streak for Phoenix. They had gone 58 games in a row when leading at halftime without a loss. 54 wins, 4 draws. That all came undone last week. That streak had gone since 2018, so over 5 seasons. San Antonio disrupting that, and I guess a chance Phoenix to start a new one tonight. That's the way to look at it. Long ball forward. King on the run, and Diaz swoops in.
The like-for-like change. Petrovic, who we've seen him higher up the field, he's going to play left back. Again, if you're Wangera and Phoenix Rising, you have to be aware of that, and you go at him, and you go at him early. That means so much success with the runs from Darnell King. No different to start this first half for Phoenix Rising.
Deflected by Trejo. Lucho. Space to work into for Rose. Navarro curling this in. Rios Nobo's there. Lucho is making that late run. Harvey's upended. Referee playing advantage. We're back earlier in the first half, gave a yellow card to Armanakis for a challenge. Should be a similar sort of situation. Wangera wanted a handball there. Play continues on. Armanakis trying to get away. Is the referee going to go back and give a yellow card for that challenge? Doesn't look like it.
100% should. The late challenge on Convillo just takes out Carlos Harvey on the back end of it.
Varela for Trejo. Oh, Danny Trejo! Deflects just wide. The way it's going for him, you expected that to nestle in the net.
You can just tell when a striker is feeling at the spaces that he picks up, but the things that he tries to pull off sends Yuma packing. Whew. A double touch around the corner, things that you dream of, but give credit to McHugh. Last-ditch defending effort, because if he does not make that intervention, Danny Trejo gets his brace. Just so exquisite in the final third as of late.
Hernandez curling, and this is taken by Diaz. Need a Chris Berman whoop track in there.
Got one in you?
Whoop! Is that good? I'm not on Boomer's level, though.
I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Every broadcast, we need one.
Five minutes gone in this second half. Pretty much picking up right where we left off. Phoenix sitting a little bit deeper. And they've had their moments going forward. They have been dangerous, and most of it's gone through Danny Trejo. Goal and an assist. Zacharias Hernandez going to ground. Like he got that clean as Armanakis tried to let that run through, and El Paso's right back on it.
I'll tell you what, to start the second half, there's been some rash challenges from both sides. So the referee has let his players play.
Stishin shaken up. Comes from a good family, Denis Kostishin. His dad played soccer for Ukraine in 3 Olympic Games. Pretty impressive. Navarro. Rose. Probing again. Lucho. Extra touch. Lucho! Saved! That is a fine stop. And Rios Novo denies his fellow countrymen.
Solignac has a very good feeling of where to be at the right time. The little drop of the shoulder creates his own space and has a very clever idea just to pull this back to that far post and try to wrong foot Rios Novo. Hits it extremely well. Just like you said, Josh. Great strike, even better save from the keeper of Phoenix Rising.
It's all about the cutback, right? Always works.
Most effective pass in football.
There you go. This is whipped in. Nearly spilled there by Diaz, but he holds on to it.
I do think if you have a striker that has the ability just to create his own space in the final third, like Lucho Solignac, it just gives you a whole different look going forward. He doesn't really need support system underneath him or someone running in behind. The strikers in the world pop up at the right time, right place, the right way. Lucho has been the benefactor of a lot of that.
Kostishin deflecting just wide. Boy, was that close, and that pressure high up the field nearly worked out for El Paso.
You mentioned it, you can't get complacent if you're Stenberg, just a bit too casual playing out of the back. Too much talent on the front end for El Paso, just fortunate enough for Rios Novo, goes just wide of his post, but Kostishin and Lucho Solignac have been very active since coming out of the break.
Slipped in, quick passing here. Lions had to get out of the way of Zacharias. Here's Lucho circling. Calvillo. Give and go, Lucho, he won't get there. That's good defending by Trejo.
Just tries to do a little bit too much if you're Lions. It's a good idea to play into the path of Solignac, but you have to peek over your shoulder to see if it's on before. You can't play a blind ball, especially when you get in around that 18-yard box.
When it comes to a sports injury, the unknown can be unsettling, but there's one thing that can calm that uncertainty: an answer. Mayo Clinic uncovers answers every day through exploration, teamwork, and innovation. Answers that can lead to more answers and define a path forward. If you're looking for answers related to a sports injury, you know where to go. Learn more at sportsmedicine.mayoclinic.org. Here's Varela. Move it off to the far side, and King. Overlap from Harvey. Deflected cross. Oh, is right in between Varela and Manjoma. And a bad luck there for Phoenix. That's a foul. Stenberg. Too much there on Zacharias. Navarro. Kostishin Lifting it forward, Stenberg. It's a great header. Zambrano slipped in behind, but Diaz, oh, he turns it over! Right around the goalkeeper, Danny Trejo, weaving, Trejo, still Trejo, it's cleared. Oh, what chaos! Hernandez. Ricky, that's why you keep showing up. You never know what you're gonna see, and I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Look like a video game straight out of FIFA. From one goalkeeper to the other goalkeeper, Rios Nova understands if I just roll this ball into the path of Zambrano, I take out 5 El Paso players. That's another great ball.
Here's Manjoma, the cross. Whistle comes. Well, good luck breaking this down.
I don't think you can. Just utter chaos. Benny Diaz, you talked about him venturing off his line, but I do think if you're Danny Trejo, it's just a little bit too much. Tries to take on the whole team. Last ditch defending effort from McHugh, but if you beat Benny Diaz on the initial action, you either have to shoot it or you have to play it into the path of Darnell King. As you try to overcomplicate it, that gives McHugh the ability to get to the goal line and put that really tough challenge in at the back end of it.
Benny Diaz being given a yellow card for that last sequence as well.
And once again, it just starts all the way at the back from Rios Nova, understanding they overcommit, rolls passing into the ball of Zambrano, and then it's just the movement of Danny Trejo once again, just splitting the back line of El Paso far too easily, and catches Benny Diaz a bit casual trying to play out of the back. And then you just have to be a bit more unselfish if you're Danny Trejo. You do the hard work, you get around the goalkeeper, just pass into the path of Darnell King, and he has an open goal where you shoot yourself.
You talked about how unselfish he was in the first half, but that time, I mean, feels like anything he touches right now in that area is going to turn into a goal. Goals in 6 of the last 7.
So a bit casual. I think right here, if you're Danny Trejo, this touch, you have to pull the trigger. You see exactly what Benny Diaz is trying to do. Take him down.
It was interesting there. He went to ground, and I think the natural goalkeeper reaction is put your hand out. You're 10 yards outside the box. You can't do that. He had to go with his head as Harvey is upended. Cards starting to fly a bit here. This one. We'll go to McHugh.
Remember, it's the second time this half that Carlos Harvey has been on the receiving end of a very hard challenge. Just body checks him, doesn't move, just squares him up like a linebacker. Sticks his hip into Carlos Harvey, knows exactly what he's doing. Now you have a goalkeeper and a center back for El Paso in the book.
Reaching the hour mark, and maybe some subs starting to warm up for El Paso. Stenberg. Ahead for Manjoma. Eddie Manjoma goes over, and the ball rolls out of play. And looks like it's just a goal kick. And this is interesting. If you're not going to give a penalty, it's got to be simulation, right?
100%. I think that is the argument that Yuma is putting forth toward our center referee. I'd argue that the thing that's most alarming is the lack of recovery runs from this near side of El Paso. It's far too easy for Phoenix Rising just to get in behind. Like you said, Josh, Alexis De Silva gives Manjoma a yellow card. He does very well, drop of the shoulder, but I think Yuma just pulls off at the last second. Let's probably give our best look here. Just brings back that right leg that Manjoma's trying to look for the contact. I don't think it's enough in that for me to point to the spot.
And Yuma said right away, that's got to be a yellow card, and it is. And now, Time for some subs. Kostishin is off. It'll be Sanupe and Gomez coming on. The crowd seeing the replay on the board in the stadium.
I think it's that second look, that second angle, that clearly shows Yuma just pull off of the challenge at the last second and deny any sort of contact.
Zacharias coming off as well. First substitution window used tonight. Second and third subs for El Paso. Gomez with 3 goals and an assist this year. Sanupe with 1 goal to his name. Former Tottenham Academy product.
Entering the match is number 21, Emmanuel Sanupe. Leading the match is number 10, Dennis Kostishin.
Stenberg going right through the back of Sanupe, who just came onto the field.
What's going on?
You saw Manjoma go down away from the ball. That's Gomez, who just came onto the field. Stenberg, I think, got hit in the mouth. A lot to take in here, Ricky. Stay with us.
USL After Dark. That's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Oh yeah, shoulder.
He just dropped his shoulder to the jaw of Stenberg, but to be fair, the center back comes in very hard. Makes a lot of contact. That's a very hard challenge from both players. The back end of it, Gomez just comes through the backside of Manjoma. How he does not pick up a yellow card right in front of our referee, that's a question mark as well. Stenberg initiates a contact. Sanupe drops a shoulder. Yeah, we have a very dangerous set piece for El Paso. You're aiming for right between that PK mark and the top of the 18-yard box. Very important that Phoenix Rising drops in unison, try to catch someone offside.
Calvillo, quick run up. They went quick on it. And the flag is up for offside. Phoenix very disciplined there, holding that line. And we'll go back the other way.
And it is Sanupe just a bit too eager. First player in the line. There's day offside. Well, what a fantastic line that was for Phoenix Rising to catch out El Paso.
Stenberg. Joma slipped. Oh, quick touch there by Wangera.
Can't dirty the kicks though.
You gotta be careful. Gotta pick and choose. How's your touch, coach? Ooh, he still got it.
But with the white ones as well, I'm letting that ball roll by me every single day of the week. Especially I'm up 2-0.
Slips this in, the back heel, trying to return it for Zambrano. Armanakis had it red, and here he comes. Another turnover. Here's Rose. Phoenix has done such a good job to get bodies back behind the ball tonight. Possession has been well in favor. Well, it's gotten a little bit closer, now just about 59% for El Paso, but it's 2 games running now where Phoenix has been outpossessed, and we haven't really seen that a whole lot this season. Not that possession is everything, but that's just the way that Wangera and Phoenix have set up a lot this year. Armanakis. King. Picked it up with his knees. Phoenix able to win it back. A whistle and some subs, or just a sub. It's the end of the night for Fede Varela. First sub of the night for Phoenix. We'll see Derek Formella come on. 6 goals and 2 assists for Formella this year with Oakland. He will enter here for the final 20+. Varela did get the assist on the second goal. A little bit of something different up top for Phoenix tonight.
The player that's very similar to Panos Armanakis. He's going to float in and out between lines. Very comfortable on the ball, but has a very good sense of where to be in around that 18-yard box and the ability to get on the end of things. Mela, it's a big acquisition for Phoenix Rising.
This one, the only show in town now. Las Vegas has lost 3-0 to Loudoun United. Last game running here in the USL Championship, Phoenix and El Paso. Stenberg being chased by Lucho. Push in the back, and it's a free kick going the way of El Paso. In-swinger here, bouncing in front, touched away! And Rocos Rios Novo denies El Paso again. They take it quick. Navarro clipping this onto the roof of the net. Boy, he's come up with some big saves, Rios Novo, when needed.
But what a fantastic ball in from Petrovic, because it does two things. It really blanks Rios Novo because he can't cheat any sort of deflection. The ball ends up in the back of the net, so he has to wait till the last second to get that power step to his left-hand side to punch it wide of his post. Mitchell Solignac makes that run centrally, but just doesn't have the ability to get on the end of it. What a fantastic save that is for Rios Novo, but look at the gaps between the lines of El Paso, two spread apart.
In for Trejo again, Danny Trejo! He doesn't miss this time, and Trejo has a brace! An assist and 2 goals, and he keeps it churning for Phoenix, who lead 3-0 at home.
You play direct. A big emphasis is who's going to win the second ball. No one in a blue jersey. Around 15 yards of Zambrano, and much like his first goal, Danny Trejo just splits the seas, plays off the shoulder between Yuma and McHugh. Great ball in. It's that secondary touch, the quick shift of the feet. And Diaz can't react quick enough right through the legs. And that is a player that is feeling it. That is a player that is audacious, that has the quality and the confidence to get his brace on the night. Danny Trejo, 3-0, Phoenix Rising.
Celebrations on for Trejo. This goal brought to you by Gateway Community College. Second of the game for Trejo. He's now up to 12 goals. And maybe Phoenix wants more. Armanakis blocked down.
That ball needs to go to Zambrano. He makes a lung-busting 30-yard from a deep-lying position in the center of the park. Panos Armanakis just elects to go centrally.
Gomez blocked down. Caram out of play.
It's been about the third instance that we've seen from Panos Armanakis. Just sees off a runner and then elects to go by himself. A bit too heavy in terms of the touches that he's taken in the final third.
Moved out wide for Navarro. Oh, Navarro got that one wrong. That's the first touch he's missed tonight. Fans, be sure to visit your local Arizona Financial Credit Union branch to get your Phoenix Rising debit card. It's a great way to support the team and spread the word. Visit ArizonaFinancial.org. Harvey. And here's Formella. Oh, Trejo was looking for that run. Instead, it slipped in. Flag is up for offside. Darnell King going just a little bit too quick.
But just look at the shape, or lack thereof, I should say. Fellow Paso, too many gaps, about 10 to 15 yards from that back line. Not even a midfield, the front line. No one's staying home, no one's clogging passing lanes. Not good enough for the Texas side. There's a reason why they've been leaking goals. 4 goals in Miami, 3 goals here. It needs to tidy up and be a bit more tighter. Especially in the first half, we're so good defensively. We're front to back about 25 yards. That's not been the case here in the second half. Too many times one ball just breaks and takes out 5 players, and you leave your center backs extremely vulnerable with the runs for Phoenix Rising.
And to that point, Ricky, they have conceded now 3 or more goals in the last 4 games. Touched out of play, and now during this 9-game, the last 9 games, when you include this one, outscored 20-6. Substitution will be Chapa Herrera coming on. It's the end of the night for Liam Rose.
Entering the match is number 20, Luis Herrera. Leaving the match is number 22, Liam Rose.
Corner kick for Petrovic to stand over. Petrovic to the back post. The header comes in. Stenberg got to it. It's still loose. Popped in the air and over the bar. Mucho talking with the referee. I can tell you the best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership. I think Juan Garras will be very pleased with how this game has gone. After the chaos that was last week, this one a little bit less chaotic at times. At least less jeopardy in the game now at this point. Phoenix trying to play out of some pressure. Armanakis moves it along for Zambrano. Sanupe, some pressure. Here's Stenberg. Formella trying to stick his head in there. These two teams will meet again on Saturday, September 23rd in El Paso. El Paso trying to catch some form. They're still right in the thick of the playoff race, but tonight they'll now be holding on to that last spot. Foul against Hernandez. El Paso wants to go quick. Not sure they were quite ready for it though. They carry on. Lions, the cross. Dealt with pretty easily there by Harvey. Played through the middle, flicked along for Lucho, lets it run in field, but it was Manjoma tracking back. Bouncing for Harvey. Eventually the whistle comes, and it's a foul against El Paso. Phoenix is readying 3 subs. I believe we'll get him here. Gabby Torres, Henry Uzochukwu, and Emil Cuejo will be coming on. Eddie Manjoma, the goal scorer, one of those coming off. Darnell King will be another. And Panos Armanakis, the third.
The 2 wingbacks for Phoenix Rising I thought were just so good 80 minutes in. Providing a different look going forward, providing the width, providing the quality, and just putting a lot of pressure on the outside backs of El Paso. If you can get them playing at this rate and being that aggressive for the remainder of the season for Juan Guerra, watch out for this Phoenix Rising side, because they're going to catch fire, and they're going to catch fire quickly, creating so many players. Cause so much havoc against opposition.
Fans appreciative of the effort here tonight. As King makes his way off. Darnell King hasn't necessarily been that kind of go-to player week in, week out, but when he's been called upon, he has put in solid performances. Another great one tonight for the Phoenix captain. Score your new career at Gateway Community College. With Gateway, you can achieve your dream career in less time and for less money. Get started at gatewaycc.edu. I showed you what is to come for El Paso at halftime, and is not going to get any easier next week against Indy, who went on the road and got a big win against Miami. Indy has really found some form lately. Midweek win against Birmingham as well. And then there's some interesting games upcoming. Hartford, team at the bottom of the East. Monterey Bay, who's scuffling right now. and it's at Orange County and then at Las Vegas. We'll take them in mid-September. Very important games upcoming as they try to hold on to that last playoff spot. They don't play New Mexico again the rest of the year, who currently is the team just on the outside looking in currently. Long run over the top. Diaz retreating. Uzo's onto it. Deflected. He's chasing it down. Herrera calmly wins it back. Finds Sanupe, who's in space. Sanupe goes on the brakes. Sanupe is blocked out. It's a corner kick coming.
Substitution for El Paso Locomotive FC.
It'll be the youngster Diego Abarca coming onto the field.
77, Diego Abarca.
He's the youngest El Paso player to score a goal when he got his first. He comes
Number 6,
onto the field for Eric Calvillo. Nothing this season, though, for Abarca, and it looked like Mo Traore is going to come on in just a moment. That is the final sub of the night for El Paso. This corner kick is floated in, cleared away. Gabi Torres, he'll get there. Cuejo through the middle, Trejo as well. Torres chops it back, goes down, the referee points to the spot this time. And might this be a chance for Trejo to complete his hat trick?
Gabi Torres knows exactly what he wants to do, so decisive. Shows essentially, cuts it back. Just take the hips of Yuma as he squares up. He knows he's beat, he knows there's contact. Clear foul, no question about it, point to the spot. At first glance, Josh, I thought it was gonna be Danny Trejo stepping up to get his hat trick. But it's Formella. Tries his luck to get his first goal in a Phoenix Rising jersey.
Oh, it is Derek Formella against his former Oakland teammate in Benny Diaz. Formella scores! Phoenix running right at home tonight. It's a first goal in a Phoenix shirt for Derek Formella. It is 4-0 to Rising.
And you have to think, Danny Trejo gave the go-ahead to Formella to get him off the mark. We'll take a look at the foul first. Gabi Torres shows essentially, cuts it back. The hips for Yuma. You never want to get squared as a center back because you know you get caught in trouble. Formella steps up cool as you would like, sends Benny Diaz the wrong way. And a player that if you get him off the mark, you get him producing goals, producing assists. So many weapons for Wongir at his disposal. Arteaga comes back into the fold. Formella gets a goal. Danny Trejo on our brace here today. Menakis contributing so much attacking talent for Phoenix Rising.
And that is Formella's third penalty kick goal of the season. That goal is also brought to you by Gateway Community College. And it was Zambrano who was the one to come off for Mo Traore. Well, it's turning from bad to worse for El Paso. Now 8-0 over the last 2 weeks. And this 8-game winless skid is going to move to 9. 0-6-3. Currently minus 15 goal difference in those 9 games. One back by Phoenix. It looked like Trejo got himself back on side. He had to make one extra pass. He couldn't do it. Now he does. It's Torres to put 5 on the board for Phoenix. Gabby Torres on the score sheet, and it is all turning up goals tonight for Phoenix.
You get a goal, I get a goal, everyone gets a goal. Danny Trejo gets denied once, he'll not get denied twice. Picks up his head, sees the run for Gabby Torres. Picks up his head, knows exactly where he wants to go, makes no mistake about the finish. The wing back that comes in as a substitution. Right through the legs of Benny Diaz. Up to the corner to celebrate. Smooth sailing for the home side. Gabby Torres, what a fantastic goal.
And celebrating with a fan there watching the game from pitch side. Manuel Arteaga for Gabby Torres. He gets his first goal of the season. And pretty cool for Gabby Torres. It's the first goal that he has scored as a father. So congrats to Gabby Torres on getting on the board tonight. Foul there on the far side. And a yellow card has been shown. Oh, this is coming together. Not what you want to see at the end of a game like this. Some jawing from both sides. You saw Benny Diaz come all the way downfield. Jawing continuing. Trying to sort this all out. Alexis De Silva has this work cut out for him here. Looked like Uzo was in there initially. ARs has come onto the field to tell Diaz to go back to his goal. He was hot coming all the way upfield. Some evident frustration from El Paso.
It's a 50-50 ball. Really interesting because you see Lucho makes no play on the ball. He just comes through the midsection of Uzu, but then on the back end of it, Uzo lower his elbow, catches Lucho on the back end of it. Coming together between Jose Hernandez, everyone, Benny Diaz. There's no need for the goalkeeper to be that far off of his line and instigate. It's a hard challenge nonetheless between Uzu and Lucho Solignac, but it's good to see both players back on their feet.
So Uzo got the yellow card, that's it. We're into 3 minutes of stoppage time. A bark up for Sanupe. And out of play. McHugh off to the far side. This has to be pretty good for Phoenix. Well, you don't have to go back too far to find the last time they scored 5 goals. That was in the 6-0 win over Memphis on the first day of July. Phoenix will move in the 7th spot.
Join Arizona's only professional soccer club as it goes head-to-head with Sacramento Republic at the team's new home. Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for ticket information.
El Paso will move down to 8th spot, and Phoenix on 32 points. Same with El Paso, 2 points off of 5th place Orange County. Just 4 points off of 4th place San Diego. I think we've kind of found the tiers. The 1 and the 2 spots, it'll be Sacramento or San Antonio. Below that, it's anybody's best guess from 3 till 8. Maybe Oakland, maybe San Diego. Trying to push the envelope for those last 2 home playoff spots, but a lot of games left.
Really interesting. Talking about Oakland so early in the season for their rights. As of late, the last 8 games, the last 2 seasons, that's when they've made a push to the playoffs and squeaking in at the last playoff spot. But good on Noel Delgado to get all the right things going.
That's the final whistle. Phoenix Rising, a dominant victory tonight. 5-0 over El Paso Locomotive. Juan Guerra said, if he wins the game, you'll see it on my face during the handshake line. He looks pretty proud.
Very happy just how good they were defensively, but on the attacking phases of the game as well. Just exploded, scoring goals for fun, assisting, making all the right decisions. When you get in around that 18-yard box, you're Juan Guerra, you have to be extremely pleased, and a much-needed 3 points.
Let's take a look at our save of the match presented by Truly Nolan. When Rios Novo had to make some saves, he came up with some big ones.
Just a timely save of Rios Novo, because this ball hits the back of the net. It's a completely different game. You have to wait till the last second, because any sort of deflection that ball ends up, you can change your angle the way that you hop. Big time save from Rios Novo.
4th clean sheet of the season for Phoenix Rising. They get it done in dominant fashion tonight at home. We will come back and wrap things up right after this. Phoenix back in the win column. Boy, do they need this one. And they do it in dominant fashion. 5-0 over El Paso. Stay with us. We'll come back and wrap things up right after this.
Sanderson Ford gives back. They support local sports.
They support local businesses, restaurants, and music.
Y organizaciones en nuestra comunidad latina.
My favorite event is Operation Santa Claus.
And mine is the Cave Creek Rodeo.
I love participating in the Guardian Games with my son Evan for Special Olympics Arizona.
Your business has allowed Sanderson Charities to give back to all these local charities. We've been paying it forward for 68 years. Thank you.
Hey, Rising fans, spring is in the air and Circle K has what you thirst for. Stay cool with our famous Polar Pop Cups that stay cold longer. Fill your cup with your favorite flavor or mix it up to create your own. Or try our freshly ground iced coffee starting at just $1.89. While you're here, mix and match any 2 roller grill items, just 2 for $4. Check out these hot deals and cool down at Circle K, America's thirst stop and proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana, enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Back to wrap things up. What a night it was for that man there, Danny Trejo. 2 goals and an assist. And Phoenix just adding on at the end. 5-0 over El Paso Locomotive. As we look back at these 90 minutes, we start in the 21st minute, and that is when the scoring got started. This is great all around from Phoenix.
And then Phoenix Rising just picking on this near side of El Paso. It's the relationship between Darnell King and Danny Trejo, and making the right decision when you get in around that 18-yard box. Picks up his head, sees Manjoma has a better opportunity to find the back of the net. He draws in Benny Diaz, an easy finish for the outside wingback Manjoma.
And then Trejo would get himself a goal in the 44th minute from Fede Varela.
Just having the ability to continue his run, to recycle it, and to keep himself onside. Every single player in blue is just aware of the ball, caught ball watching, slow and stepping off. Nick Hines keeps things on Danny Trejo that he gets his goal.
And then a little bit later, Phoenix come the second half. They just kept pouring it on. Zambrano, perfect weight on the pass for Trejo.
But it's just the lack of rotation, the lack of coverage, the lack of recovery run for El Paso. But take nothing away from this double tap for Danny Trejo. Shifts it to his left-hand side, right between the legs of Benny Diaz.
And then the penalty, and that would come. Torres going down. Formella gets his first.
Just clear as day from Gabby Torres. Catches Zuma, caught square. Formella steps up, makes no mistake about the finish, and Danny Trejo, playing assist maker once again, gets denied on that first entry ball, but not the second one. Picks out the run from Gabby Torres, picks up his head, calmly slots it to that far post. Phoenix Rising, smooth sailing.
I didn't mean to shortchange him. 2 goals and 2 assists. He got one on the last one. I think he might just be the USL Championship Player of the Week this week as we look at the stats. 5 shots on target, 5 goals. You can't get any more efficient than that.
I think we'll start with the visitors. Needs to be better defensively, especially in that second half. Just wide open. The lack of recovery runs, lack of being just compact from front to back. And on the attacking third, you need to figure it out. Too many players just not having the intended target, not having the audacity to take their space and test and ask questions of the opposing back lines and black goalkeepers. So if you're Brian Clarehow and John Burklow and El Paso, you need to figure things out because you need to take a look in the mirror. It's been not good enough with the talent that you have on the roster.
A lot of ups and downs this year for El Paso. This, though, a down, no doubt about it for Phoenix. They are on track, at least this week. A good win to avenge the loss from a week ago. That'll do it for our coverage tonight from Phoenix. For our entire crew, broadcast partner Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long from the desert. It finishes Phoenix Rising 5, El Paso Locomotive 0. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.